We are here about 3 or more years past the lockdown. And since then, things have skyrocketed. Rent, housing, McDonald's. And I'm here too on the ground floor, trying to crawl my way up to something more sustainable, at least income wise. But if I can be honest, it's not our fault. If you're 50 plus and you're going through hard times, that's on you. Right now, that's on you. But us younger generations, we never truly had a time of cheap rent and cheap homes. That time has been gone for a while, and we can't keep blaming ourselves for that. Back in the 80s, my friend told me he would be drinking beer in the parking lot with his other friends. They were all about 16, 18 years old. But when the cops did pull up, they would open their trunk and tell him, okay, now you put your beer into our ice chest. And that's as far as the confrontation went. Nowadays, with police body cams everywhere, yeah, it's a great thing to keep the bad cops in check. But if a cop would pull out right now to me and my friends when we were 16 to 18 years old, he would arrest us all. And we'd be charged for underage drinking and public intoxication, who knows what else. Not because he's a bad cop, but because that body cam, he's going to go back to his station. His chief's going to review his body cam and be like, why didn't you arrest those guys? Why didn't you press those guys? Why didn't you charge them for something? You're just going to let them be like that? And I'm sure nobody thought about that when they voted for police body cams. And as for housing, that's a thing of the past. We all don't make that kind of money to afford a starter home. So we are at the mercy of our parents, if we even get along with them. Personally, I never got along with mine. And even when I did live with them, they would use that as leverage over and over again till I was indirectly kicked out because I couldn't fold a towel the way they like. So we pay our rent to make sure that we have a safe place to sleep to go to work from, which would then pay again to our rent. And with rent being the way it is now, you need to have 3 or 4 boyfriends or girlfriends to even afford a decent apartment. And really, it's not our fault that it seems so hard to get ahead now. Because most of, if not all, our parents did it, and they just went to work and went home, bought their houses off a salary from a friggin' grocery store, or got a nice apartment from it. Okay, so that's all true. But now what? Well, let me just say what I think, looking at it with a wider view of it all. America was founded by a bunch of Romaboos. They loved the Roman Empire and how long it withstood war after war, pillage after pillage, and what I believe is that they wanted to make the next Rome. And Rome had problems. You couldn't move where you'd like. The royals said you would be here to farm for the city, and if you have a problem with that, the praetorians will deal with you and kill you. So they knew to a point why Rome fell. They knew exactly why. And they knew whatever economy Great Britain was in, it wasn't going to last forever. So they gathered together and said, let's try this capitalism thing. Fast forward to 275 years around there, and here we are. Everyone can say what they want, but we're still standing. And not every point in time was America number one, but I can say for sure that even with all this happening, even with how our day-to-day is now, and us seeing the end of the good times our parents got to relish in, I can still say the founding fathers truly did their best with what they knew back then. And even though we're going to see this system they made collapse right in front of our eyes in our lifetime, I know for a fact we were just born at an unfortunate time. And that's okay.
Sister was knocking around.